Kasie Afrikasie no enchemu enche bia ena omampanyin His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebo atemuafo makomako ensudin se yentoto oma no e ma chebejefe no mu wi a na yeni wo mutum wo nko eye yatemuo kasie pa no Supreme Court no munkodi wo mu ho omunkodi wo mujuma e wo ho na ne Justice Teria Akaboafo ene tie dwamu a yetoto oma no e wo vetting committee ho madaroma yenko ne hwese de anototo no esiko.
I do hereby administer the oath. I,
Koikuteria Akaboafo,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Honorable members, may I proceed by asking the nominee to give us a brief background.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. I'm Koikuteria Akaboafo. My mother, the late Agnes Kwesen, is from Wasa East, Mamponso, raised in Aboso, settled at Insusaiden in the Western region. My father, Nicholas Eduaka, is from Western North. I'm Nefie and Akakrom. So from the records, I think I'm the first nominee to come from the Western North. And for the Western region, I'm actually the third nominee from the Western region. I had my secondary education. I started from St. Augustine Secondary School at Bogoso in the Western region. I left there after 2.5 years, came to Winneba Secondary School, Winnisek, where I had my O-levels. I had my A-levels at Secondary College. From there, I did my national service at Aboso in the Western region. Came to University of Ghana, Legon. I was a resident of the Commonwealth Hall. I went through with an LLB degree. From there, I went to Ghana School of Law. I was called to the bar in 1996. I did a brief practice. I did my pupillage at Bosonchi Salmon Associates in Takoradi. From there, I joined my brother Ben Akajesi to start Kendrick's law firm. In 1999, I left Ghana. I went to Eric Castrain Institute for Human Rights and Public Administration, University of Helsinki. I had my LLM there. I was then enrolled in a licentiate program, which was towards a PhD, but I didn't complete it. So I migrated to Canada, where I enrolled at the University of Ottawa Law School for my pupillage. I was called to I also appeared before many of the other courts, the federal court, the superior court, did many work there. In 2015, I was elevated, or I was appointed to the High Court. Where I have continued to work till now. I am married to the beautiful lady behind me, Joycelyn Kuku Akaboafo. We are both for gospel churches. So I am here today to be vetted for the Apex Court of Ireland. Thank you very much.
Thank you, nominee. All members, we then proceed to take questions. I will start with the subject matter committee members, and I'll call on Honorable Bitsidi to start.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chairman. Congratulations, my Lord. I have a few questions for you. The first is, my Lord, are there enough lawyers in Ghana? And if your answer is no, what do you think can be done to increase the number of lawyers in the country? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Well, at the last count, the information I got, because I teach at the law school, is that between 1877 and 1963, there were 570 lawyers in Ghana. And I mentioned 1877 because of the Judicial Act. But from 1962 till now, as of May 2015, as the last call, I think the lawyers from 62 to May 2025 is about 10,400 and something. So in effect, many lawyers or lawyers in Ghana in total would be about 11,000 something. From the Ghana Bar Association portal, as I asked around, you see practicing lawyers will be about 8,000. To that extent, there are not enough lawyers in Ghana, because if you look at our population, then you have about 2,000 people to a lawyer. If I compare it to Ontario, in 2020, the Ontario population is 14-point-something million, with over 56,000 lawyers, which will be about 1 to about 7,700. So to that extent, no, there are not many lawyers in Ghana. So I think that something ought to be done. What should be done is for something for discussion. And you asked me what should be done. I mean, at this stage, we know that it's the Ghana School of Law that train lawyers. There has been conversation that the institutions that train the LLBs should be allowed to do the professional. I will hasten to add that we need to be very careful how we do that. Because if many of the LLB schools producing candidates, the question to be asked is, do they have the requisite material and the qualified lecturers to teach there? Because let me say this. If you produce, let's say, 100 graduates, and they write the entrance exam as it exists now, and you don't have more than 10 people passing, then I think there's something wrong. So yes, we should enlarge it, but we should be very careful, because after LLB, somebody must do pupillage. Do we have qualified chambers to train the lawyers who will qualify? If we have over 8,000 lawyers and there are only about 1,200 registered chambers, there will be a problem. But yes, there's a need to enlarge the number, but it's a conversation that should be had deeply and without any emotions. Thank you.
My Lord, we know your background. As a lecturer, you can be lecturing for the whole day, but we don't intend keeping you for the whole day. So
Talk as no so asabe Ghana Police Service and the National Elections Security Task Force at the Electoral Commission for enim se bano ablikuma abato a yetu ma ni twa mu eba na parliamentary de na anase ma hye bedwam de omuntimi enkoleti ye no isi edito mu nim se nko mo bambo kese pa imu odu se de be ya womu ebetimi de hye egu akwan mu na sabe womu de results no abane no ene nam so Ghana Police edito isi enim se sabe womu de asem na kwakodan Attorney General and Ministry of Justice said de be obemo mo emra nim anase emra eho efutu na sabe de womu se womu wo atwan mu a womu twen se Attorney General womu ede se efutu no ebebanti isi ede atudwa se Attorney General nim ena wo hwe enti womu de efutu ne bape omoso bekoso na omudwume sese esefata no omudi atudwa.
The commission invited political parties to an IPAC meeting on 26 February 2025 and followed it up with another meeting with the MPP and the NDC on Thursday 13th March 2025. The NDC at the meeting raised some issues and followed it up with a letter to the commission to address the issues raised in their letter. The commission responded to all the issues raised by the NDC in their letters dated 17th March and 30th April 2025. Among the issues raised were the lack of invitation to participate in the collation process, denial of involvement in the collation of the 25 scanned pink sheets on the 21st of December 2024, and concerns about the use of scanned pink sheets purportedly from the New Patriotic Party during the collation on 5th January 2025. On 28th March, the Commission again wrote to the Ghana Police Service and informed them about the 3 polling station results which are still outstanding and the need to complete the collation. In the same letter, the Commission requested a meeting at the earliest convenience of the Security Task Force to agree on a date for the completion of the collation. At the scheduled meeting on the 10th of April 2025, the Commission was informed that the IGP had traveled to Boku as a result of the conflict and will be briefed on its return. On 2nd May 2025, the Commission wrote to the Election Security Task Force requesting a meeting on Thursday, 8th May 2025 to discuss the collation. At the scheduled meeting on the 8th May 2025, the collation process was scheduled to be completed on 15th May 2025 at the old headquarters of the Commission. Before the date for the collation, the police invited the Electoral Commission for a meeting on 13th May 2025 and informed the Electoral Commission that there was a pending case at the Supreme Court with respect to the Ablekuma constituency, and further indicated that because of the legal process at the Supreme Court, they were unable to provide security to the Commission for the completion of the collation, since that will amount to contempt of court. In a letter dated 15th May to the Ghana Police Service, the National Election Security Task Force, the Commission informed them that our attention has been drawn to the fact that there was no injunction application pending or any process that prevents the Electoral Commission from going ahead to complete the process, and further requested for protection to enable the Electoral Commission to do its work. Furthermore, in the letter, the Commission requested a meeting the next day, that is 16th May, on Friday, to agree on a date for the completion of the collation. The Ghana Police Service, the National Election Security Task Force, in a response to our letter, informed the Commission that the issue of the completion of the collation of Ablekuma constituency parliamentary election result has been referred to the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice for legal advice, and further stated that in the view of the referral, the National Security Task Force will hold on until the legal advice is received. Since then, we have followed up with the police, and they have indicated they have not received the advice from the Attorney General. We have also had productive meetings with the 2 political parties about how to complete the parliamentary election collation at Ablekuma North. In the last meeting on the 12th of June, the 2 parties came with 2 perspectives to conclude the election. One of the parties stated that the process, the collation should continue, whilst the other party stated that there should be rerun in 37 polling stations.
Sabe Electoral Commission edi ato mrashebedwam enimu se wosere wo mo animanimu ya wo mo emremu na efa bambo ho nsem a wo mo ma Ghana Police Service na wo mo bambo a emu edupa isanse ye hwe Ablekuma North empesua so a abato etu wiye no na kinkan no enwie peye no omo se ya chedodo bani nyina nso ejina so mbenya bambo a emudu opanyina okopie mu ewo mrashebedwam nra ya wo June bosome ne de to so edum kono Deputy EC Chairperson wono ne share corporate affairs, so Dr. Bosman Asare no kesi so say commission ne de omuje hono mama pa na so moto omu asi wo so mehwe ama ehunumu fan ene akuntabuo ene pepepe yo etimi akoso na mmom so omanya bambo a emu eduru pa de a na cha so omokoye na so omama nti omu gina ba bi omu gina nti abere de omu serese emrashebedwam omu emmerem no omu nsanka bambo esefata no so entimi emfa enkenkan aba no.
The collation process in Ablekuma North has been very, very transparent, participatory, and accountable. The agents of the MPP and the NDC have always been present throughout the collation, as well as the media. The evidence of what transpired from the 9th of December were captured by the media, and this shows a transparent process devoid of bias, and it was open. The parties agreed to the use of scan sheets, and their agents approved of them. Mr. Speaker, this has been the process so far, and the evidence exists with all the major media houses that covered the collation. Mr. Speaker, the collation has been transparent. As a commission, we are desirous of ensuring that the people of Ablekuma North have a representation in Parliament. We urge this Honorable House to assist us in getting the support of the Ghana Police Service to provide the requisite protection to enable us to complete this collation exercise. Thank you very much.
Minister for Interior, Alhaji Mubarak Muhammad Muntaka na sabre wa kensi so se NDC aban etu ne ho asi honom pa ene na Court Control Commission aka bomu se womu fa kwambone so edi nubone ho edwa na nipa enso hu dwane sabre de womu tu womu so sapa esanse womu pese Ghana ha sei etimi bia asomdue pa na edi ho efri enubone ho nti obi bia won so de ne ho ahye mo no sabre womu tu womu so sai womu nyina e de efri ho no mo se wo hwe sa akon yi a ne kon no den pa enti esese obi anso e de ne ho ehye mu bi se de be ya ye hu bibisa na ntentem so na ye bebo mpanyimfo amane na ma esa womu tu womu so no so Harry Amawom.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the challenges posed by the world drug problem cannot be overemphasized. Drugs are tearing apart families and communities, causing unimaginable health crises and national security threats. Alarming rise in young people becoming addicted to prescription drugs is particularly worrying. This trend not only threatens individual lives, but our society as a whole. Ghana is not immune to the scourge of illicit drug trafficking and substance abuse. Once again, to the graduating officers, cadets, today you join those who have chosen to serve with honor and selflessness. The road ahead will not be easy, but I strongly believe that you have, through your training, been prepared for the task. You are going to be the front line in this war against drugs. I urge you to carry out your duties with courage, professionalism, and compassion. The recent increase in seizures of illicit narcotics drugs and the arrest of suspected drug traffickers is an indication of our renewed fight against illicit drugs. Let me state unequivocally that the increase in the arrest is an explicit manifestation of much more tighter measures put in place to make Ghana unattractive for illicit drug trafficking syndicates. As you may know, drug trafficking networks have become more invasive and complex in recent times, exploiting our borders, our youth, and our vulnerability. But let me be clear on this: we will not sit idle. To achieve this, we must adopt diverse approach. Enforcement alone is not enough. We must strengthen our preventive programs, enhance rehabilitation efforts, and strengthen international cooperation to tackle this menace at its roots. To this end, I have directed the Narcotics Control Commission as a matter of urgency to operationalize the Substance Use Disorder Rehabilitation Fund as provided for in Section 22 of the Narcotics Control Commission Act 2020. The fund will facilitate, among others, research in the areas of addiction disease and treatment of persons with substance use disorder, as well as setting up of rehabilitation centers for treatment of persons with substance use disorder, as drug use is a public health issue. I commit to donating to the fund a seed money and urge all and sundry, particularly corporate bodies, to support the fund as part of our corporate social responsibility in addressing the threat of substance abuse that is becoming a canker among our youth.
Emma Sobejani Emma Equiapem North Honorable Samuel Ewukuna Sabe odi atudwa se woni adesuafo a womo senior high technical school for the deaf etwetwe enkomo na wohu se ohaw kakra wo honom sebi yenuanom a womo entimi enkasa na se womaso enti asemai no wo musuku a ewo Equiapem no wo se wo sha e kame ayesi yi wo mu e de asinti anasa niema bebre wo honom a ento asosu ku no wo mu akwanya bi wo munya pepepeyo wo mu de wo mu enye binti wo srese aban fa hyehyeye engu akwan mu se de be ya wo mu so ye de wo mu ebeka ho de ebeche bia wo mu so ebenye bia free mu na wo made sua no so etimi akwa enimu e de amomo wo panyini ka se wo san so edit to just se e ma hye bedwam enso ehwe na sa nkrofo nyina enso etimi enya sa pepepe ni bi ne momo enkyekere a wo mu de wo mu nsa ebetimi aye bibi na nkoye se classroom pekeke ye kape na chese ato masum anase bi ye ka anase ewremu anasan apie sa de ne de emwa.
The Speaker, the first and most pressing issue raised by the students was the absence of a dedicated legislative framework for deaf education in Ghana. Currently, the only senior high technical school for the deaf in the country functions without a law that secures its future through guaranteed funding, policy direction, and institutional support. This gap leaves the school vulnerable to inconsistent budgetary allocations, administrative neglect, and limited infrastructural development. Such legislation, Mr. Speaker, will do more than fund a school. It will serve as a national commitment to inclusivity, equity, and sustainable educational development for a marginalized group of our population. And this will be in accordance with the Sustainable Development Goal SDG 4, which targets quality education. Target 4.5, which aims to eliminate gender disparities in education and ensure equal access to all levels of education and vocational training for vulnerable groups, including people with disabilities, indigenous people, and children in vulnerable situations by 2030. Mr. Speaker, 2030 is just around the corner. Again, Mr. Speaker, the second matter of concern is infrastructure. The school currently operates from two physically separated campuses, the north and the south. This setup forces students to cross busy roads several times a day, and students with such hearing impairment being at the mercy of drivers that can knock them down easily, and risking their lives just to access food or attend classes. Furthermore, the students depend on taxis to transport food between the campuses. This unreliable system has often resulted in delays and, in some cases, complete failure to deliver even their meals, thereby affecting nutrition and concentration. On-site dining hall is recommended to ensure nutrition and eliminate reliance on external logistics. Mr. Speaker, the recommendation for a centralized and accessible learning environment, complete with an on-site dining facility, must be taken up by the Ministry of Education with support from Parliament. Again, Mr. Speaker, the third issue relates to the inadequacy of the current national curriculum in addressing the needs of deaf learners. Teachers explain that most lessons have to be repeated multiple times due to comprehension delays, and the current assessment structures do not account for the unique learning methods required by hearing impaired students. In actual sense, they are treated just like the same and ordinary student. As such, the students propose a comprehensive review of the national curriculum for deaf learners to incorporate sign language-based instructional materials, visual learning tools, simplified content structures, and extended teaching and assessment time. Additionally, they recommend the recruitment and training of more sign language interpreters, the provision of learning aids, and specialized professional development for teachers in deaf education. Right Honorable Speaker, Parliament must take steps to ensure that inclusive education becomes a practical reality rather than a theoretical aspiration.
Abusafo ya toka se no so asabe yakwa kopie mu e wotano north empesua so e wo ahafo region na ebeto dwa anasa beto dwa se ye share National Democratic Congress wo mo executives wo mo sa empesua so hono a mente me ho ase ene ntokwa bi esi hono mo FF school feeding yi ho enam so ema emofreduane a yaya ye de be ma wo mo no wo mo hia to agu enti sabre ya yensa ka eye owura bafo ewu awono ene ye headmaster ema SDA school ewo boma ono aso na ye chairman ma Association of Headmasters owura bafo wa wotemenka mema wa haba UTV premoka CSO yo wadaroma yenya ntiye se ba school feeding ya mentime ho ase bi abasi so anase si ho no efa NDC executives ho ma mofredi an krampo no yetimi ahia to agu form enchemu pa ne sei na ebi so ski e wo suku ho no mana
last week Friday na watching in the na Ketra no ba contain appointment letter to when you can so met from Ajian or when you are in school for or NC school the Juatano and Obesha to say or no Ajian there Ajian is so a saying and I take it out for Biba or say or much to say will be the Ajian and one or bra or monthly in Park and show or month of Sandia and one put it ready answer. There no more candidate na let it be
okay.
In the study, Omo Ekian, and I don't check no mamma of them. If we won't find the Asenka or Mobi Chinese and one of the Omapo, Omadi mamma of them. Nanso, Oman, yes, yes. So much here, Janini Kuye. He said, what she said, the BSC was our finest, and of course, Juatano, Menim, and as a 7 of 20 can see it.
Wow. Na omuhie aduane ne tugu ye no na omo pese mofra no aduane ben na sa time no ye de ma omo anase omo ba no omo ankasa de omo aduane bi baaye enti no omuhie de omo beto ye ne tugu ye ana
de bi omo anfa aduane bi ama omo anfa aduane bi ama omo asem omo kan ya ne se omo panyin kwati omo suspend school feeding no to secret nti omo nya suspend to be school feeding no ta be na mo dia okay
na abra wo mu ehie aduane ne tugu ye no wo mu a wo mu edi eni mo mu hie aduane tugu mpacho wo mu free boma ho anase wo mu free hefa ene ba ye wan kasa personally wunnim wo mu ana
wo me ba ye ne nyina ye wo ma mo ye local leaders of boma ho
okay wunnim wo mu
oh yeah minimum wo mu
na asemi esi ye sabre na na so mu hie tugu ye wo se wo ye headmaster e mo fra na aduane be na mo di ye wadaroma
me pa cho fa da no o mo enye aduane fufu bia eni
nti mo fra na de kom na tina mu akopem se mo pon ye
me pa cho ani nti mo fra o mo adi o mo sika ba so mbeto aduane adi di o ma to mo aduane di be school feed ne di abo fa bia nya akwanya eni di o mo sada no
ene wo mo man fa sika ma no mo de kom tina mu akopem so mo ko
o mo de kom are ho sam kwa ne say na mi ni school for the second time no ben kra ni bi peki aduane na o mo hwie gu no bia na o mo di ko ne yo mo ya se aduane a o mo ba beti na bi etisa aso
mi rewa na sa asem we nyina esi ye no wo se ejuada na esi ya na se fiada
me pa cho we si juada
na ne benada so no so no aduane bi baaye
baby juada no first one o mo hwie ye no o kan no a second one mo be hwie gu nti ama o ma anye aduane fofo bia
enti ajuada mo hwie gu ye benada mo hwie gu nti nsem we nyina se minim se Dr. Gideon Boakon ena ye mrahye bedwani e wo Tano North me pa cho mabona mane
officially me anka sentiment mbo na mane be nam social media ni adinti wa che ho asem ama wa frame after say many head teachers no yenhia na oni yen eni komo be yenya enhia ye no nti ntumi ho asem potia opese o ka
chere mu
nti ya ba ye no ba be hia na ya fa adwene wo
okay yes I enhwe now executives no be omo NDC mu ena wo mo aye arehusem arehusan ya asefem eba ne sa no DC ho no mo mama na so ate assembly member ho mama na so ate na di asem anase anamontu be no mo so to di afa ho because say mo fa ni nya aduane ni
yeah The patricia na assembly member nankasa or woman persian so no na or ye kid or cacatress na or be ye general school hono. The name is for assembly member no bonama assembly member no bonama ye e wo de asi ni ho. The assembly member na so be free MC no bonama ye. The men ti bi den free MC ho. The assembly member na de me na me free no bonama ye se de asi. Nti ono ba be share ya obeto mi school mu ho.
Enti saa brɛ die sɛ me ne wo kasa yi ene ye fiada emofra no e wo sukuu mu ene aduane ama mofra ni nya aduane ni
me pa chwan e free juada no benada u kwada be si na aduane bia ma school feeding aduane bia ma ya o mu.
Wow, na emofra ne turn out et say because abofra ba make say bi a ebi ni ho onim se na ni da so oba benya aduane adi wo e wo sukuu na na aduane ni ho no mofra no dodo na atimi ba school ana se bi entimi me bi tifie.
No question school feeding no bota ne some fa so ba ko pa be boa ye school feeding ne boa ma enrollment no e ti dae ana ye se si abia ye wo mu ya on se aduane ho aye din kakra o ye nkura ate nti mo fa no hu se aduane no e be ko so no o mo de ani die pa ene bae e ba school do mu entumi maso no na enrollment no so ti enye one school a general problem a wo hobra school feeding no kosi bia.
Okay, si eyi SDA school no e free ho mo ko another school so a eno so mo ko hwie nuane ni bi etugu ya na
bomma ha die na minim other schools no mate na me ntumi confirm school we and school we is me ko the bomma die ne die isi wo mi ami school mama me ho
esi wo wanim yo said there was see aka say masebedwani ana say Dr. Gideon Boakon afre se wonemu edi ehie de UTV news yeguso ade ani so edi ehie ti wada wo de befiri mu ababia na ida se wo ana se ye be hwehwe MP ne na kasa ne hu de efiri mu aba
me pa cho me dasi
yeso ye dasi pass ye pusu wa homa na waje so abusuafo ru abafo ewua headmaster Emma SDA school wo boma wono anso na ye chairman Emma Association of Headmasters ena yete na mane body esi ewo honum sabre de obepie mu ewo Tano North boma ye mofra no school feed omunya aduane eni sanse executives ni omwo ndc no mu bisusu se omumpanyimfo so omuntwen sensen nti wo ketra wo be ye aduane akono makohwe de atogu nti omunya aduane eni yeto wakase no so a eye emabunu a wo mo wo dwira na edi omode ato omo so dwira youth for development na sabre wo mo se wo mo nka wo manu ntum o ma ye honhon ache ama nipa bonfo mo fa eye kuntuna ase na ase kwambone sutu efo magudie eye illegal miners ye from galamsey no wo mo atu atese am mo so de wo mo so etu wo mo so sa nya de se wo mo ebepeno mo sesei wo mo nsuo no wo mo sa ase nyina esesen se wo bepie mu ewo ho no man yare wo bi te se cancer ene kidney sabo eho hawo ena ate atese ewo wo mu ekuronum enu nti emabuni sei subo no mema yemfa nko babia yemfa ni nyina embo wo mo hene a wo mo eho no mu susu se wo hene ehya ase bi ena emma sankofo yi etimi etu efomagudi eti sabre wo mo de petition akwakoma regional minister ene ye lands minister honorable Amakofibua se wo mo emmere mu oman hene wo ho no mo wo dwira traditional council se wo mo memu na eba na hemfo nketo no mo hyesa fom na wo mu ehyehyɛ aseɛ paa nti saa bere so wo amamu ama mpanyimfo yi ama metu saa akrofo yi eso sa enyi wo man firi hɔ no ma enye asempa
anyefofo no eye dwura traditional council fo no omo na mo asejura no yemfa demie mo bia because channel ni no wan kofa na onsumi mfa ne pe e ma ye adwuma wo asase so dwura agamatu ajan oni dwura main problem agamatu dwura main problem because wo ohiri mom when you say ko ohiri de nka wotu wa hifie e na wo bi sempa na wo de wa hifie na wote no wote fo sika nti na wote ho this obi asori ano na market onye ahwede gu ne kone ne nsa na so yo hene obi atu je baby obi so gina bia because dila no ni peyi bia wo ni o kama fu odi mafo it obi asori ano ye galamsey so you tumi kwampotu na mo de letter komo hene say ni akoso onye tumi bi na no ka che ye say yanko ni putu ye pemputu ye fanto man peyi nto man peyi awie ya bei ya ti say dila traditional council for no mo na go so e won clan dila fi anso no mo omo ya atrofo please no sibika ho this the time I say what show me do this the time kwa betu onto no me galamse wo kwa betu no ohini bi asua bie somewhere etumi check na no ono ko ye ne self yi a odi ya adwuma yana saase wa se koko odwa memhe hina na otodubiem edua no ba bia onye osande ndura wodi ye galamse no wa se asase hina motodubiem ye nusu nso wodu ehe hina sei nti sisi apo te ya ba ya da bibe tu boho na boho nene nutu on defum nti ya be sa bande ahedura yesi yasam ya kopede aban obe grant lances amobia omama ye light scale mining ya pa yan pay illegal mining bia wodura biom ye lands minister honorable Amakofi Bua any regional minister ye be say mo say momo wade na montum ani enhwe duraman mu efise anche kwa no metia say kidney problem cancer any yare different free sanad mercury omude yes adwuma wi ebe kuku duraman fo nti aban ye be say we say resetting Ghana there yensu youth ni ye be ya famu there be ye de aboa ma wo 4 years na wudi wa aban mu no we resetting na ni so ade hu na wo no abam
ewi abre ye gina ha Judicial youth development ye ni abre edeti ni ni abre ye ti Judicial asase so ana wuranga matu agena so yo man hene from mami akọ wo kwafa pata be ye fe na na okọ be enim na wo na kwafa ne baye so na me ye na adwuma apaso pata ne baye enim so onye nsum adwumati ye ni asem oye na adwuma kama e wo ma na wo de ye din akọ na wo akọ ji sika putuo dis kana ma wo wi a o mabo ma no wa ye ni nsuo ye ni hwe no wa gana koda China ena ba ne sai na wo papa no asase so biem ye na wo hu esa said ye wo ye papa na mpa no akọ ka ho asemiti wo so wo ma na na okobere mama ye na adwuma China for mu say ye nsuo eno na wo pe no asase so dia enye Judicial youth development ye say ni abre pa ye hia China fo biem e wo Judicial asase so
Emrasabejani Owogomwa East Impesua so won finfin mantem ye Honorable Desmond Degraft Paito ena sabode kokobo ama ne manfo a wo mo ne Impesua so se obi bia wote bia ensuo efe bia no enimonimu ya ntentem so tufiri ho wo sese wo hye anano memenda ekosi ne kwasi ada so sinsu ya ntam atoye wo ne Impesua so ho no ma se si aye kasei enipa mako ahenan 400 ena omuni dabre sese ni nyina yensuo yi atwia fo mu fie atwia fo mu so enyena enti enam so emamrase bedwani de emo bag ahenan 400 wo de anwa curtains no adiosia 60 saso ena mattress ya yeda so yi wo de ahasa 300 no saso de 300 mosquito net akwakoma o manfo o mo ho akan no wo chire mo ni UTV news ekasa en wo se wo mo
anyefofo no
sie anyesa wo no akasa bi tutu wo mo efri ho
okoro 400 bucks mattress na yeda ba no oya 300 ya abramo mosquito net 300 ya mamo angwa 60 curtains enema okika ho nti ye besre na wa hwe acha mamo ana kokobo ana enyida wonsam bi mayende de bia yeti bia aye no de nsu nam ho no nke nyimanyim ya yenye ya adwene de ye bo hwe baby foforo na yetu ya eden ya kotena osande ye kor kakraba o ye kohwe baby nsu no ne dan ne mu no oduru na akoko adi bi owo dan ne mu bia sei ni TV ne nkungwa na adi na mi bisa ne de last year se no tia no se an na fi nso osatia nti mpan na betena ha ma de bia wonda ma be sei apeska foforo edi ato na san sei na apeska foforo abrabo ne yendama ne nyeden ne nkowanyim nti o de mienwanyi de be fi ha prekope na to wadwenum nti medema samili ye afutu amobia amabebi ate no ahwoye
ye honorable Desmond Degraft Paito any ye DC nana come omina ombeka bomu because omako hu contractors na omoye djuma okwan so no contractors na promise yes ombema excavator no na yakoyi we yakoyi inso no mu se na be ya inso kwan no ba na inso na be fa yo but you see the problem are challenges are you face no omo a omosi dan e wo inso kwan no so on na ha ye but ye ni engineers na ko rounds ye be make sure say nimia ye be make sure say omo amusisi dan e wo inso na no ye be make sure say ye tu omo efio say bokwa na ye be bu na oman no anya found dia ye be ye enya minipa.
Executive Secretary Emma Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Echanity Akan Copec Ora Duncan Amwa and Odiato Energy Minister nim said nay si ye said the city no esi enya hoden ama dollar na akofo na opanyini anase oswofo yi emfa sa kwan yi so na yentimi enya mfaso emfree esopa so sisa be sa wo sha 1 cedi levy omoka so mode bo matwen asensen no obetimi afa eye cedi na hoden no so na o my Ghana yetimi enya mfaso e free so
levy a ye de beto petrol so ye 1 Ghana cedi ha ye say ye de be to fuel light crude oil at their power plants near the BHA Ekada Hono. So offer the total expected revenue for a month, near 460 million Ghana cedis. And then I say, you know, it means that money no yensanka. Ubebisa mesa 460 million ye be a coin be or a coin be or why benya from alternate sources. The answer will be yes. Offer your fund goes and some your fund be a friend is a UPPF. Last time I yen Nico DHD. Now MSS car ye jaw mukrabro 1.3 billion. It is a binary Shisica and Manimu de Bia solve ne power issues. Either generational issues are in Chiaka na Petra Yako import a in Chiaka. Minister of Energy for Nichidaho. Maybe I'll be Yakakra. They are so wasn't until such a time that Ghana for betting me about to pay for light crude oil now. Again, may I assure say there were a lot of gains I am making from forex now, a decline, you know. It should not also be the case that Nyashi and Bank of Ghana is in no position. Yet this year gold for oil, we are near to bear 1.9 billion at actually 80. We have 400. I'm sure that if they look really well, baby or home ben sabeka 200 be 150 be. They are so energy ministry, the finance ministry. Now almost me they di dum so no hujuma. But there here power mu. And they say the ECG so at the abeto montene. Say or more call on a revenue mobilization. Enkane no more ba na ye niaje because he himself be jiska de akoya depa. Ma enkoba ne se sika almost san abegije enne e de ko nyinaa ye beda be sorry as container 1000 yako import e wo hia ye nim e bia yira. We don't want to hear those stories. Nti omo begije sika na ye de ye mpanyin form o margin nko the leakage no I wo ho na e kofa e kanede ba no so one solve leakage na no matter how much tax I would better petrol so no and so no because ye tua no na wo brogu ho enti yesre almost stop it the broka egu ho no no ye di san komo ye a ye hwe se tax na se beba o se ma no almost fasa window we so ye ora John Jinapo and in the ministry me wo areshe mu woni mu so I deputy minister da ranking member to any issues no on fasa window we I suspend the levy no and fan solve some of the internal issues ECG or the power sector e wono na e drew se Ghana for bebo no to do his work na eto asomo a megidi se eni se okasa kra ye manen kasa
ya de sema ye gina ensemisuni ahome premo kase so ye koba menya be ma David Oforisafo Bongo di faro de agudie mu nsam so beto so nkoba bia ye beba sisia
to break us your boy eye Ecobank Adaroma